So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
Oh, that's painful. Caught in a lie and watching her go down like that.
I'm asking about that specifically because you made the point to bring him up twice and that he was a little tyrant.
Do you have a question for me, Margaret?
Yes, I do. South Korea is a treaty ally. North Korea is a nuclear-armed adversary. So that's a pretty big thing to confuse. I know you read this book before it was published because you released video of your recording of the audiobook. You didn't catch these errors when you were recording it?
Oh, Margaret, as soon as it was brought to my attention.
You know, when the Republican Party kicks you out of their club, you must have really screwed up. I mean, this guy tried to overturn an election, orchestrated a coup against our government. He wants to shoot people at the Mexican border and put pregnant women in jail. And he hates dogs.
He died like a dog. He lied like a dog. Choked like a dog. And that's why he died like a dog. He died like a coward, whimpering, screaming, and crying. He quit like a dog. Just got thrown out of the Navy like a dog. And he was fired like a dog. Romney choked like a dog. He choked. They sweated like dogs.
But he didn't shoot one, at least not yet.
But I'm asking you about your book here, which we have.
I'm just asking for why am I being treated differently than every other person that you've interviewed? I've looked at your last several weeks of your interviews. You don't interrupt other people. You let them talk. Thank you for inviting me to have this conversation about this book. This book is extremely important to the people of this country. It is important because it's a how-to guide of what they can do to have input into their government, how we need breakers and builders in this world. And I'm taking responsibility for the change that we've made.
And for the mistake in the book.
And I've told you that, and I'm, no, it's not. What I've said is that I have
You're
decided
not taking responsibility for the mistakes in the book.
I've decided this, and I'm saying that this book is very, very good, and I've met with many world leaders, and that there are world leaders that I've met with that are in this book. There are many that I've met with that are not in this book. And this is an anecdote that I asked to have removed because I think it's appropriate at this point in time. But I'm not going to talk to you about those personal meetings that I've had with world leaders. I'm just not going to have that conversation because I think it's important.
Oh, man, that's so bad. That, of course, is Kristi Noem, the governor of South Dakota, getting creamed on Face the Nation. Obviously, she's lying about Kim Jong-un, who, by the way, would never meet with a lowly governor of a state like South Dakota. Nobody lives there. There are 3 coyotes and a guy named Daryl. Anyway, she's caught in the lie, and she's trying to blame somebody else, an editor or somebody, except catch this. Governor Bimbo actually did the audiobook narration herself. She read the lies out loud. How stupid do you have to be to think you could get away with that lie? And anybody with half a brain has to know that stuff is traceable. I mean, how many Americans have met Kim Jong-un? I mean, we know she's a terrible person, lying about everything from COVID to the 2020 election. And she's not only a bad liar, why would you try and act like a tough guy with this North Korean wacko? And why would you go on Face the Nation when you have Hannity in your backyard? You could tell him anything. You could say, I was a spy and the North Korean trip was top secret. And he would fawn all over you like a 5-year-old at Baskin-Robbins. But you see, Kristi really thinks she has the stuff. She don't.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
No, I've met with many, many world leaders. Many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. I think I've talked extensively in this book about my time serving in Congress, my time as governor, before governor, some of the travels that I've had. I'm not going to talk about my specific meetings with world leaders.
Watch her as she is backed into the corner about the lie.
You didn't catch these errors when you were recording it?
She can't answer the question. I mean, if you knew you had lied and you're going on a show that isn't afraid of helping you look like a fool, why wouldn't you have an answer?
I was drinking and I thought it was in North Korea, but it was actually a 7-Eleven in Tacoma, Washington.
It's only slightly ironic that Noem gets the stories backwards. She should have lied about shooting the puppy and said, I've never been to North Korea, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn. I mean, no one reads these political bio books anyway. They're horribly written, and there's absolutely nothing remarkable enough about these people to care. People buy them and give them to their crazy MAGA uncle who never reads it either, uses it to keep the kitchen table from wobbling. But if you're going to lie to Kristi,
she went a step too far.
Make it a lie no one can check. check, like how you got up in the morning and ran 10 miles before shooting dangerous mountain lions about to attack a school bus, not a 14-month-old puppy.
Dogs that have this kind of a problem, they are extremely dangerous, and a responsible owner does what they need to do and what the law will allow.
Not a lot of people I know of have gone out and executed their own dog.
Who was her editor? Michael Vick?
How utterly heartless do you have to be to shoot a 14-month-old dog in the face?
You can't just kill a dog because you're annoyed with it. I mean, if I killed every animal that annoyed me, I would be like the Genghis Khan of Kristi Noem.
She grossly miscalculated and took her political chances to the gravel pit.
I love dogs, man. Don't shoot a dog, okay? It's really?
Kristi Noem thought she could be the next vice president. That was the whole point of the book, to appear tough and to be the kind of woman Trump would want at his side, which shows you how little she understands tiny fingers.
But on this point, though, because you have been rumored to be a potential vice presidential candidate, as you know, and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich said killing the dog and then writing about it ended any possibility of her being picked as VP. You talk multiple times about it. In fact, at the end of the book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough?
Trump was never going to allow Noem anywhere near the ticket because that's not how Trump views women. When he's not raping them or grabbing them by the Kim Jong-un, he treats them like cocktails.
I mean, I don't want to get into it. It's very demeaning to women, and I love women more than I love anything.
And of course, in what world did she think killing a 14-month-old puppy would make her look tough? In fact, if there's one thing that brings Democrats and Republicans together, it's their love of dogs.
Once considered a top potential running mate for Donald Trump is now defending herself after revealing in a new book why she shot and killed her 14-month-old dog, Cricket.
And then she said she thinks Biden's dog should be shot.
Congratulations to your puppy at home if he made it through the weekend alive. Doing a lot better than Kristi Noem's dog.
But Noem has done everything Trump has asked her. She ignored the CDC and Fauci's recommendations to avoid super spreader events.
Thousands of bikers are in South Dakota this weekend for the annual Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Despite a recent surge in COVID-19 infections and a spike in new cases tied to last year's gathering.
And she denied the 2020 election results, despite more than 60 court cases confirming their authenticity. But in the end, she tried too hard. What do I mean? Well, she tried to be Trump.
I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
Have you ever listened to Trump talk?
If anyone knows how Donald Trump speaks in code, it's me.
He's right. Trump repeatedly says things like, I hear people say, or people are saying, or I heard of a report. He never says it happened to him. He learned this the hard way, getting caught years ago when he said he saw large groups of Arabs celebrating 9/11 in New Jersey in a place where no one else saw them because it never happened. Trump has perfected the lie in the digital age. While the Washington Post has chronicled more than 30,000 lies in the Trump era, most of them did a flyover near the truth, and Trump uses that to justify the lie. For example, while Trump was going on about Hillary's emails,
Russia, if you're listening,
being deleted or containing sensitive material, for which she was totally exonerated by the FBI, no one was talking about Russia hacking the DNC and releasing thousands of internal Democratic emails. So what is it about Republicans that they think they can lie ad nauseum about events that are on YouTube where a 7-year-old can check and see the truth? That's a good question. They are all following Trump's lead. He says 100 inconsequential lies over here, and while we investigate them over here, he's meeting with Russians in the Oval, or pardoning Manafort and Flynn, or threatening the lives of his generals.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
Kristi Noem's mistake is not singularly hers. A lot of Republicans try to lie like chubby fingers, but fail miserably. And why wouldn't they? Trump is a sociopath and will not hesitate to leave you behind, as he did this weekend past, saying Kristi doesn't know what she's doing. She's gone. She's done. So drop the curtains on this idiot, but don't worry. This is MAGA country. Another one will pop up soon.
Why would you want to be on a ticket with someone where there's such a fundamental difference?
Who's with me? Hi, what's up? On speed or something?
Time to pack it up.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, right.
TikTok. You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
Thank you so much for watching. You know, YouTube frequently penalizes my videos for taking on controversial subjects, hurting our ability to earn ad revenue, which we use to hire more hosts and make more videos. We think it's so important to make these videos now and expose the Republican cult. So please join us on Patreon. The link is in the comments. We literally can't make these without you. Thank you so much. For Really American Media,
All of a sudden, this guy is like amped. I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.